Hey everybody, so we have some signing news here this morning and it involves the New York Islanders. Remember how we were all like, what's going on with the Islanders? Why aren't they doing anything? They had all these players that were left unsigned and nothing was really happening. Well, the Islanders decided to sign all of these players at the exact same time, and those deals are now in, and we know what the money is looking like, what the term is looking like. It's multi-year deals for Kyle Palmieri, Ilya Sorokin, Anthony Bevilier, and Casey Zuzikis. And we're going to get into it here and take a look at each of these new contracts. Before we begin, I just ask you to please hit that thumbs up and subscribe. It helps out a ton and is greatly appreciated. But let's get into it here. Looking at the Islanders signings here, all dropping this morning. Forward Anthony Bevilier, a top 6 winger for them, very important piece of their goal-scoring puzzle, has signed a 3-year bridge deal worth $4.15 million per season. Obviously, you know, he's still a younger player, somebody who was an RFA. He returns to the Islanders at $4.15 million, which I think is a very good cap hit. I would even call this a team-friendly deal for the New York Islanders. This is a guy that, you know, over the course of a full season with what we've seen from him, he could potentially push towards 30 goals, certainly 25, and probably going to be a 50, 60-point player. So I think that at $4.15 million, that is a very, very good deal for the Islanders. Forward Kyle Palmieri, veteran winger, goal scorer, has signed a 4-year deal at $5 million per season. Again, Palmieri played very, very well for them in the playoffs last year. Given his age, and you know, I think this is a bit of a big contract for Palmieri. He had shown some signs of kind of slowing down a little bit in New Jersey last year. However, don't really know if that's just because it was in New Jersey or if it's a sign of things to come. This contract, I think, is a little bit riskier. I definitely think there's a chance that if Palmieri continues to be a guy that's, you know, 25 plus goals year in and year out and an important goal scoring piece of the puzzle here for the Isles, then this contract absolutely could work out fine. Given the fact that he's an older veteran player, though, I think the 4 years, we're not kind of sure what this is going to look like on the back half of this contract, but the slowdown last year may have just been because he was playing in New Jersey and the Devils were not a good team last season. I'm really interested to see what Palmieri looks like this year. His first full season in New York on a brand new contract, making $5 million a year. He's got to score 25 goals this year. If not, there are definitely going to be some questions raised about this. But I do think that there's a good chance it does work out and he does get, you know, his goal scoring back up to where it should be. Forward Casey Zuzikis, very integral part of the bottom 6 and the 4th line here for the Islanders, has signed a 6-year contract extension worth $2.5 million per season. And yes, 6 years is a long time, but it is a fairly low cap hit. 2.5 mil. This is not a deal that's going to really hurt the Islanders. Even if even if the back half of this contract isn't spectacular, and if we do see kind of a drop off in Casey Zuzikis and what he brings to the table, maybe in years 5 and 6, I still don't think this is a huge deal. The term of it reminds me very much of the Colton Sissons deal with the Nashville Predators, and that's really been fine for the Preds. I think certainly right now, Casey Zuzikis is worth every penny of the $2.5 million. He's one of the best 4th liners in the NHL. He's part of one of the best 4th lines in the NHL with Clutterbuck and Martin. And, you know, again, the Islanders are in win now mode. So, you know, they're not worried about years 5 and 6 of this deal. They're worried about Casey Zuzikis right now. And he's well worth this right now. So, again, I'm not really too worried about this. It's such a low cap hit that even if Zuzikis does fall off later in his career, I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue for New York. And the final new deal here is goaltender Ilya Sorokin, who is an RFA. He has signed a 3-year bridge deal worth $4 million per season. And this, I think, is right on par with what Sorokin was probably going to get, what he is worth. He's shown signs, actually, of being worth, bigger money than this and actually being better than this. But obviously, he and Varlamov make up a tandem there in New York, a 1-2 punch and goal. And Sorokin had flashes last year of looking really, really good. Also, at other times, there was definitely a bit of an adjustment period. But all in all, I'm a big fan of Sorokin. I think he's going to be a very solid goaltender. I think at $4 million per year, that's about $1 million less than what he could be worth over the course of these next couple of years. So that deal I like a lot and think that also very good for the team to get him at $4 million per season. I think he's going to be worth well worth that and probably more. So all in all, the Islanders, they get all of these big guys signed. Bevillier's back, Palmieri, Cizikas, Sorokin, they're all coming back. And for the most part, I like the deals. Obviously, Cizikas is a long contract, especially for a fourth-line guy. But again, because the money is only $2.5 million, I don't think that's a big issue. I love the Bevilier contract. I love the Sorokin contract. Palmieri, I think, it depends on how he plays. I do think there's some risk with the Palmieri contract if he doesn't get back to being that 25-goal guy. But if he does that, he'll be well worth the $5 million. If he doesn't, could be a little bit of an overpayment there. But he played really, really well in the playoffs. And if he can continue to play like that, he's going to be worth it. So all in all, I like the deals for the most part for the Islanders. And they have gotten the pieces that they needed to bring back. They have gotten them back. And after an offseason of kind of waiting here, we know now what's happening with all of these players. So New York gets most of their guys signed. Really all of their guys signed, and we now have a much clearer look of what the Islanders roster is going to look like next season. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, links to our Patreon, merchandise store, donation link, and channel memberships are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.